My name is Isla. I am 32 years old. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. 6 years ago, I met a man named Logan at an art fair. He was talking about his big dream of becoming a rich artist. His eyes were so excited. At that time, I worked as an HR manager at a drug company. I made good money. My life was organized and stable, but I fell in love with Logan's free spirit. I thought maybe I needed someone like him to make my boring life more interesting. We moved in together after only 8 months. The house belonged to me. My grandfather left it to me. I was still paying for it. But for the next 6 years, I was the only one paying for everything. I am not lying. Every single thing. The house payment, the electric bill, the water bill, all the food, car repairs, everything. I paid it all. Logan had a job once. He worked in a store, but he quit after 3 months. He said he hated working 9 to 5. After that, he tried everything to get rich quick. He started a YouTube channel about food, even though he could not cook. He tried live streaming video games, but nobody watched. Then he bought fake online money called NFTs. He lost $3,000 in 1 week on something called Lunar Corgi coin. I got so tired many times, but I kept going. Logan always knew what to say. "Just believe in me a little longer," he would say while holding my hand, and I did believe him. I believed this time would be different. I believed the man I loved would finally succeed. But years passed. Logan just sat at his computer all day with headphones on. I would finish work at 6 and stop at the store to buy dinner. He forgot our special days, but he knew everything about video games. He could not boil water, but he could talk for 3 hours about online money. When friends asked why I stayed, I would smile and say something about being patient, but I was lying to myself. I did not love who Logan had become. I loved who I hoped he would become someday. One time I told him to get a part-time job to help with gas or food. He laughed at me. "Isla, do you know anyone who got rich working part-time?" I said nothing. I was starting to get scared of myself. I was afraid I had gotten used to being treated badly. I was carrying this whole relationship like a broken business I would not give up because I had already spent too much. I never asked him to be rich or famous. I just wanted a real partner, not a grown man acting like a child who thinks he is an artist nobody discovered yet. Logan believed he was doing important work for our future, but I was the one paying for everything while nothing ever got better. Everything changed on a Monday afternoon. I just finished working 10 hours. Logan sent me a text. "Come home early. We need to talk." The message was short, no emojis. That was strange for Logan. When I got home, he was sitting at the table. His hair was combed nice. He wore the blue shirt I bought him 3 years ago for his birthday. He would not look at me. He just stared at the table. "We need to break up," he said. His voice was so calm it was creepy. I actually laughed. Not because it was funny. My brain just could not believe it. "You're joking, right? What happened? Did you finally make $1 million?" Logan did not laugh. His eyes were so serious. "You are not helping this relationship anymore, Isla. You come home tired, you leave your stuff everywhere, dishes pile up, this house is always messy, I feel like I do all the emotional work." I froze. This man who never took out the trash was saying he did all the work. This man I served food to while he sat at his computer was telling me I did not clean enough. I sat down across from him. "Are you being serious right now?" "I am serious," Logan said. "I need space to grow. You make me feel trapped." I smiled, but it was not a nice smile. "How do I trap you? By paying every bill so you could spend 6 years finding yourself?" But it got worse. In the next few days, Logan acted like the house was his. He told me maybe I should move in with my mom for a while. He said maybe I could rent a small apartment in Tempe closer to my job. I just stayed quiet. I wanted to see how far he would go. 3 days later, I saw him tape a plan on the fridge. He wanted to redesign the living room for TikTok videos. I looked at his drawing. I said nothing. The next day, I heard him on the phone with a dog trainer. When I asked, he smiled. "I'm thinking about getting a husky dog. Now nobody's stopping me." The worst part came Friday night. I walked into my old office where I kept my desk and books. Everything was gone. My bookshelves, my printer, even the photo of my grandparents. Instead, there was a gaming desk with blue lights and a sign that said, Logan Studio, New Era. "What did you do with my stuff?" I asked. "I stored it. This is my creative office now. You can work in the bedroom if you want." I had nothing left to say. I walked out. That night, I lay in bed, staring up. Something inside me broke, like when you finally let go of a rope you've been holding too long. Logan thought I would pack up and leave. He thought he won, but he forgot one thing. That house was never his. I started making my plan. I did not argue. I did not complain. I gave him nothing to fight about. Instead, I made him coffee every morning. I bought the toothpaste he liked. I smiled when he talked about his personal brand ideas. It was not forgiveness. It was me watching and waiting. Logan got more confident. He ordered sushi using my account. He sat in the living room acting like he was live streaming to millions of people. He even emailed his old friends to come see the new space. He meant my house. I didn't say anything. I didn't react when he posted on Instagram, "New apartment, new journey." Yes, he called it a new apartment, the house I lived in for almost 10 years. I needed him to believe his own lie even more, and Logan was very good at lying to himself. On Saturday night, while Logan was setting up lights, I quietly called a locksmith. The locksmith said he would come early Monday morning. I said the earlier the better. That morning, I took time off work. Logan was still sleeping on the couch. He stayed up until 3 in the morning testing his setup. I went outside and met the locksmith. "Replace everything," I said. In less than 1 hour, the front door, back door, and garage all had new locks. I stood in the middle of the living room. The house was so quiet. I felt peace for the first time in years. Around 10:30, Logan came in wearing a big hoodie holding water. "You are not going to work?" he asked. "I took the morning off," I said slowly, "had some things to do." He didn't think about it. He just turned away, still acting like he owned the place. I waited until he was in his so-called creative studio. Then I stood at the door. "I had all the locks changed this morning," I said. He turned around, frowning. "What?" "I changed all the locks. This house is not yours, Logan. It is in my name only. I am the only owner." He jumped up like he got shocked. "You can't do this." "I can't?" I smiled. "Are you sure? We lived together for 6 years. I helped build this life." "Yes," I said, "I lived here for 6 years, and you lived off my money the whole time. I built this life. I paid for every single thing, and now you're moving out." He stepped backward. He bumped into the table. His eyes were wide with panic. "Wait, Isla, we can talk. What are you doing? Are you really kicking me out on the street?" I folded my arms. "Nobody's kicking you out. I'm just taking back something that was never yours." He tried to say something but stopped. His eyes that used to be so passionate now were filled with fear. He sat down in a chair and put his head in his hands. No more excuses. Later that afternoon, he knocked on my door. "Can you help me with a few things?" I answered with one sentence. "I think you're good at figuring things out yourself. You said you did all the work around here, did you not?" By 8 that night, Logan walked out with 3 bags. He didn't say goodbye. I sat in the living room. I turned on the warm light. I heard the wind outside. I thought it was over. 2 days later, I got a message from Sadie. She used to work with Logan. The message was short. "What happened with you two? Logan is saying terrible things." Before I could answer, Sadie sent me a screenshot. It was a long Facebook post from Logan. He wrote like he was the victim. "For 6 years, I sacrificed everything to support the woman I loved. Then I got kicked out of the home I helped build. She did not just use my love, she used her money to erase me. This is not a breakup, this is betrayal." I laughed out loud. He was telling the complete opposite of the truth. Then, 4 days after the breakup, a woman called me. Her name was Elise. She said, "Hi, I'm Elise. I wasn't sure if I should call, but I just found out some things about Logan. I think you should know." Elise met Logan at an event in Phoenix weeks before he broke up with me. She had no idea he had a girlfriend. When she found out and asked, Logan lied. He told her I was just an old friend watching his house while he was away. Elise's voice shook. "He said the house belonged to both of you, but you were jealous and tried to control him." I didn't blame Elise. She was fooled by the same lies I believed for years. A few days later, she stopped talking to him. Then Logan appeared online again, this time at a coffee shop. His post said, "Starting over stronger, clearer, no more being controlled." The last part almost made me spit out my coffee, but it wasn't over. Our mutual friends started reaching out, not because they cared about me, because they heard many different stories from Logan. To some people, he was a nice guy dumped for no reason. To others, he was a business partner tricked out of his rights. One person told me Logan claimed I secretly changed the house papers when I had been the only owner from day one. My close friend Michael got tired of the rumors. He asked Logan directly at a group meeting. Michael told me everything. "Logan, the house was in Isla's name from the start. You never paid anything. Why are you making it sound like something was stolen?" Logan laughed and shrugged. "You think those things do not matter? I invested time and feelings. Nobody understands the effort I put in." Michael just looked at him. Adults invest with actions, not words. That night, I got messages from several old friends, people who believed Logan's lies at first. They said sorry. They said they hoped I was okay. I did not answer everyone. I just sent the same thing to all of them. The truth always exists, even when it is dressed up in beautiful lies. The last I heard, Logan was staying at a college friend's place in Mesa, a friend he used to call boring and average. And that creative studio, I turned it into my yoga room, quiet, open, and free. I used to think I was not someone who made noise, but when silence lets lies grow, I knew I had to speak up. That morning, I sat at my laptop with coffee and a big folder. I was not angry, I just needed to make things clear with facts. I made a Facebook group and added 20 people, Logan's friends who heard he got kicked out, some of his relatives who still liked me. I started posting proof, a photo of the house deed showing only my name from January 2015, 3 months before Logan moved in. 6 years of bills, electric, water, internet, all in my name, not one payment from Logan. Photos of car papers, insurance, and even the receipt for the new fridge I bought last year. Everything paid by me. A short video from our home camera where Logan joked, "Living in my girlfriend's house, peak easy lifestyle." I ended with this. I am not here to argue or insult anyone. I just want to be clear. I will not let someone rewrite my story with lies. Within 5 minutes, replies flooded in. Some people were shocked. A few of Logan's old friends left the group embarrassed, but most messaged me privately saying they were surprised. One of them, Marcus, who was Logan's best friend from college, wrote, "I really did not know it was like this. Thanks for showing the full truth." I closed the screen. Next, I cleared out Logan's stuff. When he left, he abandoned many things, his gaming chair, headphones, and even an electric drum set from when he wanted to be a musician. I called a local charity that helps students and young people. Within 2 hours, volunteers came to my house. As they carried the last gaming chair out, I said, "That one got used a lot, but never made anything that lasted. Hopefully, the next person does better." That afternoon, I found the email for Logan's parents, Richard and Kathleen Morgan. They were in their 60s living in Flagstaff. I met them a few times. They were nice and always believed in their son. I wrote them a respectful letter, not angry, just the truth with some papers to prove it. At the end, I wrote, "I know you believed Logan was just trying to find his way. I believed that too. But sometimes silence lets the wrong story grow. I do not want to end this with hate, but I will not let someone turn me into a background character in my own life." 2 days later, Mrs. Kathleen emailed me. "You do not owe us an explanation, but thank you for giving one." Logan used to be a good kid, but we've been too easy on him. I will not make excuses anymore. Thank you for staying kind, even when everything went too far. Wishing you peace. You deserve it." I read that line, "You do not owe us an explanation," over and over. I realized I had finally paid back a debt to myself. A week later, I got a call from Nora, my older sister who lives in Santa Fe. She does not fall for lies easily. "You won't believe this. Logan just texted me asking for money." "How much?" I asked. $3,000. He said he was wrongfully kicked out of his home because of a technicality. He needs money for a lawyer to fight for justice. "What did you do?" Nora breathed out. "I did not say no, but before sending anything, I made him sign a loan paper with clear payment terms. I even made him give his car title as backup. I had a lawyer friend make it official." I smiled. Logan fooled people's emotions, but not my smart sister. "He actually signed it?" I asked. "I think he's desperate," Nora said. "When I asked for his car papers, he sent them in 5 minutes." Something sank inside me. Logan had not learned anything. He was just desperate. 2 days later, Sadie messaged me again. He just started a GoFundMe page. I clicked the link. My eyes went wide. The page title, "Help Me Get Back My Stolen Home." Below was a long story claiming Logan got stripped of his home by a girlfriend who secretly changed legal papers, that he invested time, money, and love building that home. Now he had nothing but an old car and a broken heart. The more I read, the colder I felt. Logan was not just lying, he was making up complete stories. He even used a photo of my house's front porch as the cover. There were some sympathetic comments and shares. Total donations, $780. The way Logan played victim so easily sent a cold wave through me. I let things happen. I didn't do anything. But someone else did. 2 days later, the GoFundMe was taken down. Reason? Fraudulent activity reported by a family member. I knew who it was. That morning, I got an email from Kathleen, Logan's mother. "Isla, I am sorry I didn't believe you sooner. When I saw the fundraising page, I was shocked. Logan has been sleeping in his car in front of our house all week. He refuses to come inside. Every night he tells a different story to every relative who calls. Last night, I heard him on the phone with his cousin. He claimed you forced him to sign over the house while he was mentally sick." I bit my lip but said nothing. "That was the moment," she said. "I walked outside. I opened his car door. I gave him an envelope. Inside was a letter that said, from that day forward, we were changing our locks, disconnecting Wi-Fi, electricity, and water. He had 72 hours to move in with Uncle Rob, who had a job waiting for him at a wood shop." I was shocked. "Logan agreed?" She nodded. Her eyes stayed on her tea. Not because he wanted to work, because he had nowhere else to go. Then she reached into her bag. She pulled out an old photo album. The cover was worn. "This," she said, putting it on the table, "I think you should have it." I hesitated. "Are you sure?" "It's full of moments Logan had before his big dreams blinded him. His 25th birthday. You baked the cake. The day you both moved in together. It rained that day, but you two were laughing like sunshine." I flipped through pages. Logan in a wrinkled shirt hugging the neighbor's dog. Logan beside me at a Christmas party holding cocoa I made. Logan at his laptop when I thought he was writing, but he was just gaming. "I kept these," she said quietly, "not to keep sadness, but to remember people can have beautiful pasts and still choose to leave them behind." I looked at her. "Do you still hope he'll change?" It took her several seconds, then she slowly shook her head. "I only hope he won't hurt anyone else again." We sat in silence for a while, the sound of coffee dripping, dry leaves crunching under feet. It filled the quiet between two women who once believed in the same man in different ways. When we stood to leave, she hugged me again, this time tighter. Thank you for giving him a chance, and thank you for showing us the limits of love. That night, when I put the album on the bookshelf in my office, the room that was once Logan's creative studio, I felt a weight lift from my chest. At last, the truth was seen, and I still had myself, strong enough to begin a new chapter. In real life, there are people like Isla, quietly carrying, believing, giving everything, only to be pushed out of the life they helped build. But in those moments of rejection, they find their true worth again. Isla's story is not just a warning for anyone being used in the name of love. It's a reminder that kindness is not the same as letting someone walk all over you. And when the truth comes out, the one who was dismissed often walks away with the deepest peace.